Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chiquis and Chill podcast. I am super excited today because we have some special guests, okay? That means two, you guys, plural. So before I go there, this is a very important topic for me because of my mom. And anyways, before I get into that, let's just go ahead and introduce my guest. I'm going to start with Cindy Cervantes, you guys. You guys will know her as MustBeCindy or La MustBe, okay, which I heard is... And she brought her daughter, Cari, short for Karina. Hi.
Hello, guys.
Hello, you guys. Hello. Thank you so much for having us on the
yes,
show.
thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
It's a little different because it's like a mom-daughter chat, but I'm super excited to be here with you.
So we're going to try to keep it PG-13, although she's 15. You're 15, right?
Yes, I'm 15.
I know. I was like, should I bring the tequila? And then I was like, you know what? Wait, hold on. No, we have it underage, so no tequila on the set. But I'm happy. Thank you guys for being here. So let's get into this because the reason, is this the first time you guys do a podcast together?
Yes.
This is my first podcast.
Exclusiva here. Yes. We love that. Okay, great. Because for me, I was like, okay, of course I wanted to talk to you. We've done some stuff together with shapewear. By the way, you guys, Cindy is... Wow, honestly, my hat's off to you, girl.
I'm wearing it.
Yeah, thank you.
It's literally my go-to every day. I love it so much.
It means a lot to me. And you have really taken and helped take our like brand to another level. So I'll say that. I don't care. I'm like, I can't say it's just me. I have people that have helped me and you are definitely one of them. And also Miss Cari here.
I know.
We have a collection as well. So I wanted to have this conversation because I was like, okay, we've hung out and everything. And then I saw that you have a very beautiful young daughter and I met her and I was like, oh my God, I saw her on Instagram live one day, not Instagram, TikTok live. It was TikTok live. And I saw how like, I don't know, I saw another side of her. Like, I'm just like, this girl's una vendedora también. She's a salesperson, a saleswoman. Like she was just, people love you, girl.
Learning from the best.
I'm teaching her the ropes.
I love it. You guys look like you guys look alike a lot.
Thank
I mean,
you.
obviously that's your mom, right?
I trip out.
But
I trip out. Sometimes I see her and I'm like, oh my God, she's like a little mini me. It's crazy. But
it's crazy.
I'm trying to teach her the ropes because I feel like this is an amazing industry. And I remember when she even like found out that I was working with you, she was like, oh my God. And then, well, here she is now. And it's so crazy, So we're so grateful.
She's beautiful. And you had her at 14, right?
I had her at 14, yes. We were fighting about the math this morning.
I was about to bring it up, but I'm not going to bring it up.
No, bring it up.
Okay, because we were live today and then she was like, oh, I had her when I was 14, which she did. But she said she found out that she was pregnant with me when she was 14. But I'm a very good math person and
math.
She found out she was pregnant with me at 13.
And I was arguing it. I was like, she's was 14. She was like, no, it's 13.
Her birthday's in January. So she turned 14 a couple months after she found out that she was pregnant with me. So I was like, if you put two and two together, I think I'm right.
So crazy. Huh?
So she, damn,
I was
okay.
a baby. Wait, how old was your mom when she had you?
15. 2 weeks before her 16th birthday. My mom would always say, oh, I had you at 16. Yeah. And I was like, Mom, it was 2 weeks before your 16th birthday, so she had me at 15.
At my 15th birthday, I had a 6-month-old baby. That's so crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that
so
is
I definitely
crazy,
had her before your mom had you.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to talk to you. I mean, you guys should know who Cindy is, but Cindy is an Aquarius, right?
No, I'm actually a Capricorn.
You're a Capricorn? Oh my goodness. Oh my God, why did I think Aquarius?
Because we were like right
it's January
there.
On the cusp.
Yeah,
okay, so she's a Capricorn. Yeah. You're an influencer. You have your own business.
Yes.
So I think you're honestly, you're killing it.
Thank you,
and I'm glad that you're teaching your daughter all these things because your relationship reminds me a lot of my relationship with my mom, which is why I was like, we got to talk about this because también de lo bonito, there are other sides of it, And I wanted to just say, was it just my relationship with my mom or does it really exist because you guys are basically you guys grew up together, Has that been hard for you, Cari? Like, did you feel like, does it bother?
You can be honest. You can be honest.
Yeah.
Raw.
Has it been hard? Like in the sense of, for instance, one thing that I used to hate when would be like, guys would flirt with my mom. And she's like, oh, this is my sister. I'm like, I am not her sister. I'm her daughter. I was like, excuse me, mother, but has that that's just an example. But is it hard to have such a young, beautiful mom? Or is it something that is exciting or, anything?
I feel like yes and no, because it's like there's like the good in it. And then there's like times where I'm like, I'm so proud of my mom, but I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, oof, like, everybody like I don't know how to put it in words, but like sometimes I feel like people only like know who I am because of my mom, like there's kids at school that will like try to be my friend and then at the end I'll find out like, oh, like they just try to use me to get closer to my mom and I'm just like,
So like you're constantly like reminded
of but
I can understand.
But I'm very proud of my mom. You know, she's come a long way. So sometimes I'm just like, I'm just gonna suck it up, you know, because my mom deserves the world, and if that's what it takes for her to get where she wants to, then.
She's so mature, huh?
She is. Like, I'm looking at her and I'm like, I'm already wanting to cry.
I know.
We're going to cry today. Oh, yeah, I can get that. I can relate to that. Where it was...
Which it's kind of similar to you because, I mean, obviously I'm like not a celebrity, but you know, it's like you're a public figure. And like, I bet you were like constantly reminded of like, your mom's a public figure, you know? And sometimes it's like, you get reminded when...
It's not a bad thing, you know? Like, I'm so happy for my mom. But then, like, you know, like I said, there's times where I'm just like, oof, like... Sometimes
you just want to be you.
Like sometimes I just want to like, you know, I'm just Scotty, you know, like, you know, but
I get that. I was in my mom's shadow for a long time. And I always say this, I'm like, I'm so proud of my mom. Es un orgullo ser la hija de Jenny Rivera, but I also want to be known for who I am and my accomplishments and what I'm doing, you know? And growing up, I think before all of the fame, it was sometimes I did feel like I was, we were kind of like sisters, and it was like I kind of felt like I had to take care of her sometimes. Do you ever feel like that with your mommy?
No, honestly. It's like in between, but I don't know.
I feel like sometimes you do have to take care of me. Like,
because your mom is so young and you're, yo te veo and you have fun.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, because there's some times where it's like, I guess you could say sometimes I do have to take care of her, but I love to. I love my mom. I would do anything for her.
Oh,
anything for her.
I like you.
Oh, and you have a brother, so you have 2 kids. Yeah. So do you help your mom a lot with your brother?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
As the oldest, we have to. I feel
at the beginning it was a little hard because like I was like, oh, you know, you're a little bit of a hassle, but now it's kind of like we grew into like where he listens to me and he, you know, he just will chill in my room, or sometimes he'll be in his room and she'll be like, "Where's your brother?" I don't even know, Mom. I don't know where he went. I think he's just asleep or something. Like, he's so chill.
Yeah. I try not to put him on her a lot, though, because she's, like, a little straight-A student. And, you know, she, like, focuses so much on, like, her school and stuff, like, on herself. And I see her, and, you know, I had her at such a young age. So, I mean, to see her be, like, everything I wasn't, like, I just want to, like, let her focus on herself so that she doesn't, like, get sidetracked or, I don't know, like, become rebellious, or like I love that she focuses so much on herself, so I try to like keep her brother out of the picture a lot. But she does take care of us though. Like when she has to, she'll step up.
She steps up.
I'm like, just bring me my brother. Or like, I love my brother, so like I said, like I'll do anything for her, I'll do anything for him.
Yeah, you're a good big sister and a good oldest daughter, which is great. But I think what your mom means too is that she doesn't want you to like grow up and resent her. Maybe. Because I think for like a while I did feel like, oh my gosh, why am I the oldest? I have to take care of my siblings. And it was just, and Mom's like, well, I don't know, talk to God. He knows why he made you the oldest girl. You need to help me. So it was like, because she was a single mom, you know? So I was like, okay. But now I'm like, thank you, Mom, because she was so strict on me. And she would always say, I'm like, why aren't you like this with Jackie, with my other sister? And, you know, you were so strict on me. She's like, well, I molded you. You didn't come with the manual. With you, it was like, what am I going to do? And then it was just easier with your other siblings. Yeah. So I don't at all hold any resentment. If anything, I'm like, I'm so grateful. And going back to when you were pregnant, was that hard for you being like did you go to like, you finished school and everything?
I finished school. It was really hard because looking back at it, like now, I went through a lot of like I was still growing up moments when she was so little, and I'm so glad that she doesn't remember a lot of that, because I feel like a lot of the times I was just like, I was little, you know, like I don't think I was like grasping so much what was happening. So going to school, I always felt like the odd one out because I had a baby and stuff like that. But I finished high school. I really did. But it was tough. I mean, right now you see us and we're like mom and daughter, and she's like already in high school and stuff, and it's nice. But growing up, it was hard.
It's crazy how far we've come.
I know. Yeah. Like, do you have any like core memories of like me taking over the podcast?
No, yeah, do it. I love it. No, yes, please.
No, like, but I did want to ask you, like, obviously on the podcast and stuff, since it's for you and I, like, do you have any like core memories like of being little and being like, okay, like my mom's for sure like a teen mom, you know? Because I feel like when you have an older mom, it's different. But like, did you ever have like a moment where you felt like I was like more of like a sister, or like algo así?
I feel like I don't. Honestly, like, it's so hard to remember stuff from my childhood. It's honestly, I mean, I'm still in my childhood, but like I don't know, like I can't. But there's moments where like I do feel like, you're not my mom. Like, you're just my sister.
Still
you're my
no?
best friend. Yeah.
Oh, I
of
love
course.
it.
Because it's like, I feel like with my, like, sometimes like people will be like, how are you so close to your mom? I'm just like, it's because with her, she makes me feel like I could tell her anything, and like she's not
That's
gonna judge me. She's gonna be my mom and my best friend all in one, you know. So it's good that I feel like if I'm going through something, like I know that I could go to my mom and she's
That's
gonna.
beautiful.
And
a
you
lot of
know
people
what?
don't have that, baby.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I feel like she probably feels like that because I'm telling you, like, most of the time that I was kind of still going through like my growing up, she was a baby. Like, she was 1, 2, 3, 4. So she doesn't really remember a lot, but I do, of like me just kind of still being like a kid, you know, and doing like stupid things, like, I mean, going out and drinking and smoking and like all that stuff. I feel like I stopped early on, thank God, because she doesn't remember all of that. You know what I mean? Or do you?
Okay, like I don't remember like so much, but yes, there was times where, you know, like you would have your fun, but I was a baby, so I really didn't know. But like now growing up, like I also have to know, like you were also still a baby, you know, like you were still growing, and so
it took me a long time to understand that with my mom, because I felt like sometimes I had to be the parent because I had so many siblings, you know, so I was like helping, you know, take care of them. And then I'm like, I started thinking, I said, well, that's not fair. I mean, you know, I'm glad my mom didn't have an abortion. She could have easily said, I'm 15 years old, I'm gonna have an abortion. And thank goodness she didn't. I'm here.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's okay. Like now I think I have more compassion for her, where I'm like, when she was out, I'd be like, well, I'm 16. I'm supposed to be out with my friends. And she was living her life. She was in her early 30s and she was just partying and everything. And I'm like, well, she didn't have a childhood, you know? So now, unfortunately, and I'm so glad that you see that you're so mature, because that didn't happen for me until later on in my life, where I was like, I was tough on my mom. I think and she would say that I was like her worst critic, because I felt like I had to grow up so fast. So in a way I was like, damn it. But now I thank her. Yeah. So I love the relationship you guys have, that you give her that space in that room to come talk to you. Yeah. And she could be herself completely. And that you're showing her the ropes, that you're saying, here, this is how you do it. I see it like on Instagram, how como la celebras. And I love that.
I commend you for that. I feel like if I don't, like, I want to be everything. I feel like my mom wasn't able to be for me because I grew up too fast. You know, like I didn't let myself be 15, 16, 17 with my mom. Like I grew up and it was like, okay, now you're a mom. And you know, Mexican traditional moms are like, okay, ya tienes hijos. Like, so I didn't allow myself to have that with my mom. And then my mom had, you know, 5 kids, y ella siempre trabajando and everything. So it was a lot harder for me to have like that relationship that I have with Gary. So I'm like, I have to be this for her, because I don't want to wake up one day and like she's like out and like trying to party. And like, I mean, I know she's going to get there one day, but I'm trying my hardest to have her, like, I just try to remind her, you know, like focus on yourself as much as you can, because we are like kids a lot less than we are adults. And once you're an adult, you can do everything. Like, but when you're a kid, I mean, that goes by so fast, and you got to enjoy it.
So do you feel that your relationship with Gary is so much better because you learn things from, like, how was your relationship with your mom? I've heard you say a few things, but, and if you don't feel comfortable about talking, we don't have to, but how's your relationship now with your mom? And do you think that relationship helped this relationship?
It does, because I feel like my mom and I have always, and forever since I was younger, we've always had like a toxic relationship, you could say, you know, but I feel like that teaches me also how to be like, it sucks to say, but like you go through certain situations with like your parents and you're like, no, I have to learn how to be better, and kind of like, you have to like, ¿cómo se dice? Oh, I'm having a brain fart.
It's okay.
break the cycle, you know what I mean? Where like our parents were one way and like they just weren't as like understanding or as like talkative or like, you know, todo te regañaban and stuff like that. But me and my mom, right now we're working on our relationship, but it has been very toxic, and that has taught me like how not to be with my kids. I mean, I can't tell my future, but for now, I feel like I do see the things that I go through with like my mom and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to put my kids through the same relationship. I love my mom and stuff, but it's just they're very different, you know. And I know you can relate to that too. Like they're very different, harder, you know. Yeah,
I think that's why I've waited so long to have kids. And if I could just be honest, I was like, I don't know if I want to have a daughter, because I want to make sure that I'm older as well, because I don't want to live that again, you know. Now I'm like, again, you grow up and you start understanding things differently. Like now I have so much compassion for my mom, because I'm like, damn, she was so young and she still made it happen, you know. But growing up, I didn't always see it that way, and I think that's why I've taken so long to have kids, because I'm like that shit's hard. You know what I mean? I raise my siblings and everything, but I think that's what our parents want. Ultimately, our parents want us to be better than they were.
Yeah.
So I feel like you said, breaking generational curses, breaking the cycle and saying, okay, I want to be better. And if anything, it's not to say that your mom's a bad person.
Right.
It's just they grew up in a different time as well. You know what I mean? And like, this is where it's a beautiful thing where it's like we live and we learn, literally.
Yeah.
Because I mean, imagine you're 15, you would have a little freaking Kari. No, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like if she's 15, she would have a little toddler. Like, do you think about that sometimes? Like about, like, not that you want to have kids. I'm saying like how old your mom was when she had you. And
sometimes I'm like, I'll like be doing something and I'm just like, dang, like I'll be out, like, for example, I'll be at a quince and I'm like, wow, like my mom never was able to do this because she had me like walking around and like she couldn't go out and live her life. And I'm just like, I'm so glad that my mom has like taught me like what I shouldn't do because like I always have her in my head, like replaying in my head, like you're smart, you're better than this, you know, like don't do something that you're gonna regret. And so that I'm just like, I do not want kids right now.
And she also has other siblings. Like she has
so
in total.
It's like,
oh really? Okay.
So that's her birth control for sure.
I have like same. I have 4 other siblings with my dad, and I'm like taking care of them sometimes too. So
they're all younger than you?
Yeah, I'm the oldest out of all my siblings.
Oh girl.
Yeah, so I'm like taking care of them. I'm like, I really will never want kids.
She relates a little too because you guys have 4 younger ones, and then you guys are both cancers, and
oh my
you guys have a lot in common. You guys both had like teen moms.
Wow. Oh my gosh, God, you were meant to be. Give me 5. Te veo and I'm like, I see, in a weird way, I see myself in you because you're so mature the way she speaks. And like you said, I'm like, you this is good that your mom is so open with you because you're like, okay, I like your mom wants you to be better than she is. Then she has been, then she, you know what I mean? And I think that's awesome. But let's be real. Do you guys ever feel any celos in any way towards each other? Or do you guys, I mean, I'm sure you guys share clothes, right? Or something.
We do. I steal all her clothes, actually.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's me and my mom.
You know, a part of me, I see her and I just see like how like happy you are and like how much you just like glow everywhere you are and everything. I'm like, damn, how come I couldn't like do that when I was younger? But also, I mean, you have to like take into consideration, like, you know, you have your mom, you have your dad, like you have all that. Like I had my mom, but my mom had 5 kids and she was always working, like, you know, se iban y trabajaban like out in the grapevines and stuff. So you didn't really have them a lot. Or like my dad, he left me really young. So I had like trauma from like, you know, I had my daddy issues like since I was little. So I feel like that's why I grew up like that. But I don't get jealous. If anything, I feel like proud, you know, like that you're just doing literally every, because you could have turned out the same. Let's be real, you know, or you could have been like just crazy and like, oh my God, I'm just grateful that you're like, I think I'm living through her. Like I'm like reliving, and I'm still young, so I'm for sure reliving through her. Like I see her going out and stuff and I like hype her up. I'm like, you do this, do that, have fun.
But I like barely go out. I'm a homebody. I don't like
girl.
to. I like to stay home. Like I will pick staying home and watching movies in my bed all day.
Me too.
Than to go out and like party. I can't.
Yeah, I like to party. Don't get me wrong. I can drink some
here and there.
But I'm more of like, if you give me the choice, I want to just stay in my PJs. I'll stay in. I'll watch Netflix and chill. So I get you. It's a cancer thing. I think we're homebodies.
What about you though? Like, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like there's any like ever jealousy or like kind of like resentment, a little bit of like, oh, why is my mom like so hot? Young? Why can't she be like a 45-year-old mom?
Honestly,
that's a good question. Yeah,
I feel like if I can be honest, like there's. It's because I don't know if I want to like. Let's just
say it, baby.
Okay, so I've always been like. When I was maybe like 13, 14, I've always been so like insecure about myself, okay? Mm-hmm. And like sometimes I'd look at my mom and I'd be like, oh my God, like she's so beautiful. And it's like, and then I look at myself and then I'm gonna cry.
Stop
and then like I'd be like, and then I like look at her and I'd be like, she's so beautiful. And then like I look at myself and I'd be like, why can't I look like her, you know?
Mama,
so that's like the only time.
I get it. I get it. Completely, because you do have a beautiful mama. But let me tell you, and I'm not just saying this because you are so beautiful, Kari. I'm not even.
Oh my God!
Like you're curvy, you're beautiful to me, and I think it's. I mean, that's how I was because I was. I mean, sometimes I had to wear bigger sizes than my mom.
Me holding back.
I know, but
I know. I'm trying.
I would think like certain. So I get her in that aspect, but
it's hard because we're on social media, you know, and I feel like. obviously me being like an adult or whatever, like I feel like pues nos arreglamos cositas here and there, you know. You're like, I had her so young that I was like, oh, I'm gonna get my tummy tuck as soon as I can, and me he dado mis arreglitos and stuff. And but I always remind her, like, when I was your age, like I looked like you, I had your body, I had all of that. But it's hard when you're on social media because she actually went through like a 20-pound weight loss, which I'm so proud of you, because you were beautiful then and you're beautiful now. But they would come at her and like, why is your mom smaller than you? And like, why is your
and
mom...
at one point it got to me, like one point, like before I'd be like, oh, like I just shoulder shrug and like not care what they tell me. But once I like started getting older and like I'd look at myself more, I'd like when they would tell me stuff like that, it would honestly break my heart. And I'd be like, dang, you know, because like I'd always try to picture myself as such a beautiful girl, which I am. I feel like I'm very beautiful and you know, but at one point I was just like, you know, why can't I look like these other girls, you know, because the internet was really getting to me. But after I lost like my weight and stuff, I don't think anybody could like, I feel like I'm like,
feel more confident.
like I feel like I'm like the most beautiful girl in the world, you know. Like now I feel confident. Like now, like before people would be like, oh, you're so pretty, and I'd be like, oh, thank you, but like no. And now I'm just like, thank you, like because I feel pretty, you know.
That's beautiful.
And I feel like you were also like, I mean, she was growing, you know, and I feel like it's just so crazy. Like any size is beautiful. Like I feel like people have made it seem like if your mom looks a certain way, like you have to look like your mom, and you don't. Like you're so beautiful the way you are now, the way you were before. But I'm glad in a way. I mean, I'm not glad that she got attacked that way, but it kind of like brought a side out of her that made her want to like change things about herself, and she did, and everybody just shut up.
Like I'm hitting the gym.
Like she's gymming.
I'm a whole new girl. I don't even know. Like I've been hitting the gym. I've been detoxing. All of that literally like. That made me like change the way I see myself.
So what you did was you took those bad comments and used it for constructive criticism, which is hard to do. A lot of people, let me tell you, would have crawled under a rock, gained more weight, but you said, you know what, okay, cool. I'm gonna use this as positive reinforcement to say I'm gonna get better. Because that's what I did when people would, I'm telling you, for a long time, I was in my mom's shadow, and I felt like, I'm like, am I ever going to be seen for me? Are people gonna listen to my music? Because it's like, oh, you don't sing like your mom and this and that. I'm like, okay, first of all, I had to learn to say, I'm not my mom. I'm not going to sing like my mom. I am myself. And once I embrace that, and I think that's what you're doing, it just makes you glow in a different way. So I honestly, a round of applause for Kari. You guys,
I know,
everyone
like another thing in common.
Honestly, Mama, that's beautiful. So because I know people have been, you know how the internet girl. To me, it's a beautiful thing that we're able to connect with our followers, but also es un cuchillo de doble filo. Yeah. It's like there are people on there that are so mean, and I'm like, how can you guys be so fucking mean? I don't understand.
And you know, for me, I'm like, for them to be mean to me all day long, I don't care. But when it comes down to your kids, but you have no control over the internet. You know, like you could sit there and curse people out all day long, but the moment that they're seeing that it's bugging you, they're going to continue doing it. And I feel like that's what they did to Karina for the longest time. But I'm just glad that, like I said, you know, she's glowing, and you know, you're in high school, you're going through all your changes and stuff like that. And I'm just glad that you changed for the better, like she said, you know. So don't ever let that get to you, baby, because you are beautiful.
No, la verdad que sí. And I'm not just saying it. I think you're a very pretty girl. Since I met you, have a beautiful smile, you have a beautiful personality. So those things are always going to exist. They're not going to go away. I mean, I think when you're doing something right, and people, imagine if they didn't talk about you. It's like, vas y vienes. But if people are saying stuff, it's because you're doing something that bothers them. So it's like, as long as you're really like, you know what, whatever. I'm going to work on myself. I would always tell people, because they called me fat for like ever on the internet. They still do at this point. But I'm like, well, can you ever call me ugly? Oh. You sure can. Can you call me dumb? You can't. You know what I mean? I'm like, call me fat all you want. Because I swear no me bajaban the Miss Piggy girl. Yeah. Que la Miss Piggy. And then one day I said, okay, fine, I'm going to be Miss Piggy for Halloween. I sure did. I said, that's the best thing you could do. I was like, and now I'm cute. No, I'm saying.
You've always been cute.
Tell me, because I know you're open about your relationship with Brandon. How has that been? Because I'm gonna tell you, I was so hard with my mom on like her boyfriends. I was like, you're not bringing them around my siblings and blah, blah, blah. I thought I could control her. She was like, well, I was like, this is my pee. I'm gonna do whatever I want with it. But how is that? How has it been difficult to navigate that? Or
honestly, Karina has always been very like quiet about, because girl, I mean, I've lived my life, you know, and I feel like that's something I could relate to with your mom too, because I feel like I've gone through it. Like I haven't obviously been married for like the past 15 years as she's been alive. Like I've lived my life. it has been a little like, a veces sí te quedas como like, oh my God, like I'm like, here goes another boyfriend, or like here goes another part of my life. But you also have to remember, I remind myself like I'm still a human, and I had them so young that I'm still living my life, and pues no se me ha dado up until now, gracias a Dios. Ya con Brandon, pues I siento que ahí ojalá y nos quedemos for a long time, and they love him so much. But growing up, and I bring this up because I want to ask you too, like, how have you felt? Because I know it's probably been like uncomfortable, and that's another thing you guys have in common, you know, is that like you guys have gone through that. You didn't have like the regular mom and dad that were like married your whole life, like a lot of people do, and I feel like that's been a tough thing for me. But like I know that my kids are gonna grow up one day, and I know that I still have to live my life, and as long as I take care of them, like I feel like, I don't know, they should respect me. But I also feel like you have your own emotions and like your own feelings. And how have you felt? And like, how do you feel now? Like, how have you felt with like my entire life and the dating, and like now? Like, do you feel like the spotlight's on you?
I don't know how to like put it like in words though. It's like it doesn't bother me. I didn't care because like I knew what my mom was doing. She was living her life. But I don't know.
Just
like
be
I don't
honest.
know. Like I don't know how to put it in words. Like,
or there's some boyfriends or something in her past that weren't necessarily nice to you guys, and you felt like or anything
I
like
would
that?
say yes, but I would also say no, because I was also very hard when it came to like my mom getting into a relationship. Like I never wanted to like get along with them. Like they would try to like create like some type of bond with me, and like I would be like, you know, because I was such a daddy's girl, so it's like knowing that my mom was with another like guy, I'd be like, no, I don't want you to like be in my life because I only want my dad in my life. Or like I don't know, like it was just my thoughts as a little girl. Like they would try to like be like close with me, and I'd be like, no, like get away from me. Yeah, like I just didn't. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I feel like that's the only thing like that I just never wanted like to have bonds with them. So, but
and what changed with Brandon?
Yeah,
I feel like
about to ask that.
But I think it's I know me and Brandon. Okay, look, one thing that I feel like that got me and Brandon really close was our music taste, because he literally listens to similar music to me. So it's like when I have to go on car rides with him where it's just me and him, it's not awkward. Because like we listen to the same music, we'll sing the same music, or we'll talk about something in the car. But
you tell him all the tea before you tell
me. I do.
Oh,
yeah. But it's because Brandon is honestly really good at advice. So I'm just like, because he's also still young too, you know, like they're young. So it's like when I tell them, like they give me really good advice, you know. So That's awesome. I feel like another thing that got me really close with Brandon is just like I got older. Like I'm older now, and it's like I think I see things differently. So like I gave it a try to get like a close bond with Brandon, especially because I felt like he was making my mom really happy. And you know, I've always wanted my mom to be happy. So like I tried, and I got really close with him in like a really short amount of time. And I was always telling my mom, I need him to be your boyfriend. I want him to ask you to be your girlfriend already. And the day that he told me that he was going to ask her, I was so happy. Because like, I don't know, like him and my mom are just, there's something. Like, I just want to like,
they just have so much fun together. Yeah. I know. I love that. I see you so happy, Cindy. How long have you guys been together?
Almost 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's young. Like it's been
when
longer.
You told me his age, because I'm dating a younger guy. We talked about that. That's what you and I have in common.
It's the same age.
Yeah, the
like,
same
difference.
Yeah, 7 years younger than us. Yeah. And at first I was like, oh my God, I don't know. But I don't know. They're more mature than their age for sure.
They are.
And the fact that he like has accepted you with your 2 kids, I think that says a lot about him. And the fact that your kids love him, to me, it's like my hat off to him, because I know it's not easy. And sometimes some of my mom's boyfriends were mean.
Yeah.
And I would protect my siblings. Yeah. And then finally, when she did find someone that I thought was great for her, I was like, oh my God, thank God, you know? Yeah. So I get what you're saying. You're like, I just want my mom to be happy.
Yeah, which is why I'm like more, I was gonna say something and like I lost what
I'm so sorry.
What the heck? No. I'm having a brain fart too. That's, oh my God. That's, okay, there. I think I got it. Okay, so I feel like that's another reason why I got a little bit closer with Brandon, is because like he did take us in like if we were his kids.
He tried. He was like,
like he's trying, and he's caring and loving to us like if he's our like if we're his kids, you know? So he's never like failed to make us feel like, oh, like you guys are not my kids, so I'm not gonna like try so hard. But he shows that he loves us very much, and I love Brandon a lot, and I'm very grateful to have him as my second dad.
Brandon.
I'm like, no, you eres Brandon. Yeah, he really does.
And his family, like his brother. Oh my God, his brother's like my best friend. He's literally my best friend. So because we're similar in age, he recently just transferred to my school. So now it's like our bond is just like getting closer and closer as the days go by.
That's awesome.
So-
Your mom's getting so emotional over there. Look at her.
I am, because I'm just thinking about like the whole entire thing. I just feel like for me, it's very different with Brandon and the kids, because I see how obsessed they are with him, and I'm like, dang, like this. I hope this is it for us, because I see how happy they are, and I feel like we've been through a lot. Like I've put them through a lot, and
don't say you've put them through a lot.
I
Don't say
have,
that.
you know, with my life and growing up.
You haven't. You were growing. You were growing. You were growing along with us as we were growing, and you didn't know much, and you know, you were still a little girl deep inside trying to.
I'm still a little girl.
Live your
I
life,
think what
you
your
know.
mom wants for you guys is stability. So she's just. We're all praying that this is.
But
like
she's
the
come
guy.
such a far, like
But it's
she's
not
come
even
such
Brandon.
a long way. It's crazy.
Yeah, like it's not even Brandon. Like it's just, I think in the moment that we're in our life right now is just so beautiful, because like even, you know, we just got our house almost a year ago, and like just I remember like since, you know, like she was a baby and stuff, like we just always moved, and just being here, I think it's like such a beautiful moment. Because like siempre los movía, like it was always like, okay, this is not working out, we're going to the next place, and like this is not working out with this relationship, we're going back to mom's, and okay, well now it's not working out with my mom because, you know, we don't get along like that, so now we're going to the next place. So I feel like we went through all of that like I think getting our house, and like just where we're at with Brandon and us, like you guys, how grown you guys are and stuff. I feel like we're just like in such a beautiful moment.
Like you have your home, some
Yes.
stability.
Yes.
That's awesome. And no, honestly, I'm gonna tell you here. I was watching your live the other day. I was doing my makeup too, and I was like, I'm gonna go on TikTok. It's rare, you guys. And you were up at 8 a.m, like we were both doing our makeup, and I was listening to you, and I'm like, I love how raw you are with your followers and how you're just straight up. You know, some people can say, oh, this and that. At the end of the day, I love that you're like, hey guys, I really want to take my kids to Hawaii. Like, help me. To me, I think like it makes me like this is something, and thanks to all the people that support MustBeCindy and what she does as well. Like I think that honestly, and you were thanking them so much. Like thank you. And I'm all about people being grateful, and I love that about you. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I saw you built your pool, you guys, and this is all for you. Like now you're living a different type of life, and this is for your kids. So I don't even know you. I haven't known you for that long, but I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, my love.
I am very proud of you.
I like to be as raw as possible with them. One, because I mean I grew up in the hood. Like I mean we grew up like, you know, broke and like not having it like that, you know. Same. So I know that like there are real people out there that support us. And I mean, just the way we grew up, you know, we didn't grow up with money. Like we didn't grow up having it all together. So it like I built that for myself, and I built it for myself because of them. Because honestly, if MustBeCindy wouldn't have happened, like I don't know where we would be, you know. So for me, like I can't just take it as like, oh, they supported me, like good, like I'm here and like I deserve it. And like I just remember like those are people that are probably going through things that like I'm going through, and they relate to me. And like I'm just always like I always like to make sure to just let them in my life as much as possible, and also just remind them like of how grateful I am, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. You know, I don't even think I would be the mom that I am, like the woman that I am, if social media wouldn't have happened for me. Like I swear, you know, because before that, I feel like I was like, I always had a void, and I feel like I was like a little lost, and like I was just always trying to find myself in so many like different places where que no daban, you know. And
now you feel
that social media like filled that void, you know. Like because in our life, I feel like, or in my life, I feel like I have a lot of void, but I feel like social media, like my girls like fuel that for me. I don't know. It's just, it's so beautiful. I'm so grateful.
Yeah. I love that. Having an attitude of gratitude is the biggest thing. I feel like when you do that, Dios te manda más. You know, it's just being grateful, and it's beautiful that you're building this foundation now for Kari, because I see Kari and I see how she's just glowing as well, and now we have our collab and shapewear.
I know, I'm so excited.
Stay tuned. It's gonna be so cute.
I just think it's awesome. Yeah, you know, and how do you feel? Are you scared to start being like stepping into this whole influencer thing, or are you like, this is what I want to do?
Oh, I'm not. Girl, I go live at 6 a.m. every day on Instagram, and I will talk to my girls. I will talk to my girls. I call them my girls too, because I'm like, you know, like, like I don't know. I love it. Honestly, I feel like I see myself doing it, but then I also see myself doing like other things that I like plan on doing. But being an influencer, like following my mom's footsteps, will definitely be something that I plan on doing, because it's honestly, it's like, it's such a, I don't know how to like say it, but like it's such a beautiful like moment, like going live and like talking to them,
connecting with
people, like it's comes the hate, but then there's also the beautiful part.
There's always going to be that 10% of people that are hating, and that's cool. Just focus on the people that love you, because I see a lot of people love you guys. That's what we got to focus on. And now that we're on this topic, I want to see if you can tell my listeners, maybe people, and I've suffered with this, so I give them advice as much as I can, but if you can tell the listeners or people that are watching us, like what you went through with social media. Is there anything that you could tell them to give them? Girls your age, it could be anyone that's suffering with cyberbullying, because I know what that feels like. So if there's anything
and
you could tell them.
I've gone through that too. Like I've gotten bullied on the internet, but I feel like one thing I will always say is like, don't let it get to you, right? But obviously they're going to be hating because you have something that they don't, and they're jealous of you because you're doing something right and they're probably not. Just like, just don't let it get to you, you know, like for anybody that's watching, you know, you're beautiful, just the way you are, and whatever the haters have to say, let them hate, you know, just live your life. Because I went through it where it's like, I would like, the haters would get to me and I would get like, there was this one time I went live and like I was having such a bad day, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go live because the girls always like just take away like all my distraction, like they distract me. And there was this girl that was coming for me. I literally had to run to the bathroom because I was gonna cry. Like I wanted to just bawl my eyes out on live because I was like, you guys are freaking getting to me because I'm having such a bad day that it's like I had to go to the restroom and like take a breather, and like just told myself in the mirror, like, don't let it get to you, like you're good, you're beautiful, don't let anybody like bring you down. And then I went back and like I kind of held myself together, but the world is always gonna have the ugly part. So I feel like I've always liked to, like, this is a little ghetto, but I've always told people, just thug it out. Thug it out.
I love that.
Thug it out. You know, don't, whatever, you know.
That should be your slogan, but thug it out. I love that, Kari. Heck yeah. My mom would always say, don't bitch out. That's what my mom would tell me. Don't bitch out, Chiquis. So I always have that in my mind. So yeah, we gotta thug it out, girl. We gotta thug it out. And Cindy, is there anything you want to tell other mothers, young moms, now that you have this amazing platform? Because people always ask me, Chiquis, how do I do it? I want to be an influencer. I want my own business. Like, is there any advice that you can give them?
I think my advice is definitely, if you're a young mom out there, I know a lot of you guys probably are going through struggles. You're probably going through something, anything. You're always going to go through something. You're always going to have that mom guilt. Échenle ganas, keep on going. Do what you love to do. Do it with love. And God's going to take you through your blessings. He's going to take you through your struggles. He's going to take you through literally anything you're meant to go through. Like, just like Kari said, thug it out, you know, like write it out. And just don't let the world get to you. Whenever they're trying to like bring you down and things like that, you know, I feel like just keep going, focus on the positive, and that's like the best advice I think I could give people, you know.
For sure, because it's tough out there, you guys, but thank God. This is something I always say. The world is tough, but thank God I'm tougher. So, you know, we got this. You guys, thank you so much for being on my podcast today, for coming all the way out here. I got them sushi, you guys, because I was like, I'm going to get you Starbucks, sushi. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to share, please, your social media so people can follow y'all.
Mine is MustBeCindy, and
mine is _Gadi with 2 eyes, Marie. On all platforms.
Marie, that was going to be my middle name. Marie. Oh my God, girl.
You guys close this out being like super.
I know. Well, you guys, thank you so much for listening and watching Chiquis and Chill. I enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys did as well. This is one that's super fond to my heart. And I don't know, I saw a lot of myself and my mom in them. So thank you guys again. Honestly, a round of applause, please, you guys, everyone here in the studio. And I will catch you guys on the next episode of Chiquis and Chill. Hasta luego. Besitos a todos. Muchas gracias. This is a production of iHeartRadio and My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcasts, and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite shows.